Welcome to part 3 of Sinder literally backstabbing almost every single VTuber she was affiliated with. In this part, we're going to be reading Bao's document, and for those of you who do not know who Bao is, she is a lovely whale VTuber who I would highly recommend you go watch and give a chat to. Bao was unfortunately also backstabbed by Sender. I've mentioned it quite a few times, and I've read it over quite a few times through the previous parts and the previous documents, and she has went ahead and made her own document that we will be reading through, which will hopefully tell us more about what Cinder has been doing in the background, and hopefully this document will give us more context as what was happening behind the curtains. So to start it off, Bao starts us off right here. Hello, this is Bao. I will only speak to what Nanolist has decided to share with the public and the messages that directly mention me by name. I would like to kindly ask everyone to refrain from turning this into a witch hunt and remember that we are still just humans at the end of the day. Some people don't see that. Some people just don't see it that way, and I really don't know, man. Like, dude, this month of VTubing has just been a total crap show, and just I wish everyone could see it that way. I really do. Before I start, I want to point out why I am addressing both Cinder and Redacted. Parenthesis read. Despite the messages being largely from Redacted, many times throughout the messages, the words "we," "were," "are" occur numerous times. As someone who was close to and worked with Cinder for years, I have first-hand experience on how Cinder and Red collaborate and extent to which Red operates as her primary point of contact in her professional and personal projects. It is that experience that leads me to believe that all requests and messages sent by Red were both known about and approved by Cinder. In March 2024, I announced that one of my subathon goals was a live 2D model. Hey, pretty good. Nanolist was going to be the live 2D illustrator. That's pretty good, but something happened, I assume. After she finished both the design and base model sketch, there was suddenly back and forth on whether she had the physical and mental capacity to continue my model. I was very sad as I had not only teased a screenshot of the model sketch on Twitter, but I had grown very attached to the design and showed it to all my friends. In a private group chat that Cinder was a part of, I shared how devastated I was, and she did not comment or say anything despite others in the group chat comforting. Oh my god. How... you know... I can kind of imagine how that would feel. Like, yeah, I can even imagine Bao at the scenario where, like, Cinder's not saying anything. Maybe she's busy and maybe she's dealing with her own things, when realistically she did not even realize that Cinder was the one behind all of that. Once again, this is putting together a lot more dots and a lot more ties together, because this is just absolutely inhuman to do. Or, sorry, not inhuman, completely illogical to do. Or completely selfish, I should say. Now that I now realize that the reason for her silence was because Cinder and Redacted deliberately, yes. Sorry, I was having trouble pronouncing that. Sabotaging ongoing commissions and blocking VTubers such as myself from having access to art from Nanolist. And this is the same text that I've read over in the previous parts. If you I'm just gonna leave it here. I'm not gonna read it over again because I've read this over like 3 times now. I will just leave it here for you guys to pause and read. I'll also scroll down so slowly so you guys have multiple chances to pause and read for yourselves in case you're new to watching this. So we're going to continue on from down here. Nonetheless, asks Redacted on why he is encouraging her to not finish my model. Redacted then lists my name amongst various VTubers as well as vendettas, Cinder and Redacted harbor against each. Bao has been getting on our nerves for a while. She hijacked our YouTube editor, constantly picking up artists that we work with. Now she's barking up the tree of one of our L2D animators. Live 2D animators. Has a way of guilt tripping others to get her way. I'm more surprised that they decided to really just say all of this without really thinking twice, or like you can easily tell that this is just jealousy and selfishness in the way that like they don't want to be really caught with it. And for some reason, they don't even want, like, once again, I've mentioned it in my previous videos, why did they not want to talk to Bao about any of this? Why did they just, why go behind her back on this and just be like, yeah, we need to backstab her and make sure she gets nothing? Why? You're not even in any, like, big, humongous corporation, and you're not under, like, some crazy contracts or anything. You legit had all the freedom to settle this peacefully instead of just go behind her back. Once again, this makes no goddamn sense as to how the hell you would even bother. How you would even bother doing this to someone who really looked up to you and whatnot. This is what Redacted lists as reasons why Nanolist should cancel her ongoing Live 2D model commission with me, all the while continuing to collaborate with me and pretending to be my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, please be careful of who really wants to be your friend out there and who just wants to use you. This is not what friends do. Friends do not sabotage other friends out of business opportunities. This is true. This is indeed extremely true. Friends do not spread lies to fuel selfish narratives. Also true. Friends do not use the private information they get from the privilege of being close friends just to use it to manipulate others. And why do you think I like to keep a few friends? I would not, dude, I would not be able to handle myself in such a space where we have to pretend to be friends when everything's all just business. Dude, I physically would not be able to handle myself at all. I would not even, dude, I would not even like myself. I would just live on with guilt and hate if I ever had to get in that kind of space. If stepping on your friends and abusing your power and connections is how you get to the top, then I hope you realize no one will be left when you get there. And then there's the previous text, and once again, you guys can pause if you want to read that about Redacted going up to an analyst and going like, "Did you cancel the models? Did you? And whatnot." You guys can go ahead and pause and read that. More screenshots of them urging Nanolist to cancel the ongoing Live 2D commission with me, even mentioning how excited I was about it when I showed them the design during Sinder and I's concert at WeepCon 2024. And then there's the whole text right there. You guys can pause and read that if you would like. I wouldn't offer it for free, maybe half price if she starts shit. Oh boy. I don't know what I have ever done to either Redacted or Sinder to deserve this level of vitriol. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Vitriol towards me. I don't remember having any issue or problem that couldn't have been solved by talking. Like that's the thing. You don't remember having any issue or any problem. Yeah, like this could easily be resolved if they just simply talk to her. This is what I've been saying in the last few documents. Why did you not just go talk to her about this? Like, there was no point for her to just suddenly stab her in the back over such goddamn thing. Regarding the messages where Sinder and Redacted openly accuse me of stealing their YouTube editor, Boss Rush music video animator, as well as any artist they have worked with. What does this say? I can't read that. Here, I'll try my best to read that for you guys. Hi, Kaiser. Nice to meet you. I was just watching your stream highlight it from me and Cinder's collab, and I really loved your editing style and humor. I was curious if I could request a video edit from you every now and then if you have any availability. My username is Bao on Discord if you want to chit chat more there. My username is Bao on Discord if you want to chit chat more there. Thanks again from Bao Management. Kaiser responds with, "Hi Bao, I'd love to edit a video for you. I just sent a friend request on Discord." She hijacked our YouTube editor. Hijacked? This was just a simple request. What the hell, Sinder? What the hell are you on to? This is not what you call hijacking. If Bao wanted to hijack this person from Sinder, this would have gone completely differently. I'm sorry. If anyone thinks that this is hijacking, I'm sorry. You need to kind of look more deeply into what hijacking kind of means. Anyway, let me go on. Their YouTube editor Kaiser is a mutual YouTube channel editor for myself and Sinder. My YouTube manager June and I asked Kaiser for one stream highlight per month, as we are aware of his extensive position as Cinder's channel manager. I made a point to note this in my inquiry email to him in 2023. On March 20th, I started a group Discord call that lasted 5 hours to hang out with my editors. In this group call, Kaiser shared with us that he was afraid to ask Sinder for a raise because he initially turned down an exclusivity deal. As a friend to both Sinder and Kaiser, I encouraged him to take the deal and reassured him that it would not change our friendship, as I would never want someone I care about to miss an opportunity, even if it meant I would lose him as an animator. The other editors who were in the call can I'm sorry, I've never read this word before. Corroborate. I feel like I butchered that. I'm sorry. Corroborate this. I'm sharing this context because there are no words to describe the hurt and betrayal I feel, knowing that on the other side of this conversation, Sinder and Redacted were actively portraying me as a thief and a detriment to their business. I have only ever supported them and their activities and never once thought that I had somehow gotten on their nerves. Bao had original songs last year that had MVs by her editor, and the songs flopped. I'm in shock and disbelief that this is the narrative they decided I deserve, saying that I harbored invisible jealousy because my songs flopped made me sick in the stomach. In late 2024, I was dealing with debilitated. I'm so sorry if I butcher that word. Debilitated. I'm sorry. I laugh at how stupid I sound sometimes. I'm so sorry. Debilitated. I quit. TMJ pain that resulted in me having to drain fluid from my jaw joints to open my mouth properly. They both knew this. I have always wanted my friends to succeed alongside me, and I don't know how they could say these things while simultaneously weaponizing my vulnerable moments against me. We are 99% sure that she told him, Sakramore, not to do any more with us Bosch Rush music videos. Once again, you got. Wait, this is new. Wait, this is new. I didn't read this before. There's some context missing. I think Bao got pissed at her editor original song. We think Bao got pissed at her editor and the original song MV of friends, knowing that they did 100 times better. Oh shit, yeah, that's super weird. Text announce anonymously in-house, as in we would never could believe publicly and not. This literally reads like a hostage note. That's something I have not seen before. In these messages, Sinder and Redacted are referring to my animator Sakramore, whom I've been working since 2023. Proof of how long we worked together in 2024, Sak asked me if he could go completely exclusive for me and work for me in-house with no credit in order for him to work quietly, and in order for him to be able to quietly work on his personal projects and brand without having VTubers ask him for more commission work. I was happy to accept. I want to reiterate that this was Sak's decision and no one else's. Here is proof of Sak mentioning his wishes to be my in-house animator directly to my channel manager Jun back in December 2024, refuting Redacted's claims that I locked Sakramore up due to Boss Rush's success. So Redacted, once again, threw another big lie out there. Got it. Holy crap, dude. More and more dots are connecting. Sorry, I had to get a good stretch there because holy crap. This just keeps on going and going and going. And this, like, dude, this is just a big pile of you are not coming back to Sinder. Like, holy crap. Why aren't you solving this privately? If you look at the timeline events from Nano's document, some of those messages date back years. I found out about this less than 48 hours ago. They did not give me common courtesy of talking to me privately about this over those years. My thoughts, feelings, my most vulnerable, darkest moments that I shared in confidence with people I thought that would be by my side years and years from now may have been used as information to ruin my chances to have the same VTuber model as someone I thought was my friend, and I don't know how I can ever be the same after this. And her final message to this document is, I would like to ask the community to refrain from spreading any harmful speculation. Everything shared in this document was done so with the express permission of those who shared it with me. I made this document with the intent to refute the claims made about me in the screenshot. Thank you for taking the time to read this. Now, let me be a little more straightforward and thorough here. Bao fucking cried as soon as she found out that Sinder has been backstabbing her. And after reading this document, this just furthermore reveals how fucking heartless, selfish, and idiotic Sinder has shown herself to fucking be. I myself respect everyone as a human being. I really do. But the question we really have to ask ourselves here is, what the fuck is the point of being human if you can't do one of the most simplest things as a human being? And what I mean by that is, why would you choose to backstab someone instead of just simply talking things out? I really did not want to involve myself in this video, but I feel like I myself need to kind of get something out there to send a message. I used to utterly hate VTubers. I did. I hated them with a passion. Oh my. I used to look at Gargura and call her one of the most disgusting internet baits I've seen. But after I just sat there and saw the state of how people just are on the internet and around the world, I realized that Gargura is actually one of the most strongest and most loving people you could ever see or meet on the internet. And the same goes out to many other VTubers there and VTubers watching this video. And I heavily feel that VTubers are just becoming painted as controversial figures when when all we want to do is just have fun. And like sure we're trying to like make a career of this and whatnot, but we have passion for it. We have passion to make people laugh, make people smile, and we have passion to just have fun while we're able to make a lifestyle out of just giving joy and entertainment to people. But unfortunately, there are a few like Sinder or other VTubers who have probably disappeared off history because of what they've done. There are a few like that who only do it for their own selfish gain and their selfish fame. There is absolutely no forgiving Cinder for the amount of damage she has done and caused to all of these VTubers who have very bright hearts. And not only that, she had hurt thousands and thousands of her own fans that believed in her and looked up to her. All for them to now realize that she did not care about them. She cared about only their wallets, what they could give her, and how much juice she could squeeze out of them. All I could hope for now is that this doesn't paint the whole VTuber community altogether more controversial, as the more documents I am going through here, the worse and worse it gets, as this month has been by far the most controversial month for VTubers. And that will be all for this part. You know what? No outro this time. I'll be seeing you buddies in the next part, which will hopefully be the last. I hope. Have a good one. Bye bye!